I've been giving this some thought. Who's going to make a big jump from 2021 to 2022? And I came up with he's big, he's bad, and he's back. I'll talk about my contest, that and more next. Hello, Viking fans. I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to describe it to you. I'm going to give away $100 worth of merchandise of your choosing. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, 75 if I get to 750, 50 if I get to 500, 25 if I get to 250. I'm going to choose one person from an episode. So I'm going to choose an episode, and I'm going to choose one person as long as they're liked, subscribed, and commented. And you can do multiple comments, multiple entries. You can actually go back to my old videos and do that too. Those will be eligible. Now, I'm going to choose that on game day against the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to choose one. Hopefully, it's $100, and I have 1,000 subscribers. Skol Vikes. Hello, Viking fans. Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter at SkullWorld and at MN Sports Podcast. Also on Facebook, SkullWorld. Subscribers, make sure you click like and leave a comment to enter my contest. Now, let's get started on who's going to make the biggest jump in 2022. So, let's get started on who I think is going to make it the biggest jump into 2022. Now, the man I'm choosing is Christiandarrisaw. Now, I like to go back and look about why we drafted him. And that's, let's review the NFL draft report on Christiandarrisaw. We picked him in the first round, pick 23. If you remember, we traded back and we selected him, and we almost thought he wasn't going to be there. But luckily he was, and we made all the Viking fans happy by selecting Christiandarrisaw, because God knows we needed, a left tackle. Even though we had Ezra Cleveland, Darrisaw was too good to pass up. Now, he's went to Virginia Tech. His hometown is Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He left as a junior. So he's going to be he's going to have extra year of life on him. Height 6'4", 314 pounds, arms 34 and a quarter, hands 9 and a quarter. Now I did a video in comparing Christiandarrisaw, not fully, but measurement wise, with a draft pick Rodarian Lowe that we took in the 2022 draft. And there were some things that stood out about Rodarian Lowe, like arm length was an inch longer and his hands were an inch bigger. That's incredible. That's incredible measurements. So we do have a guy that can I believe that's going to be able to back up our left or right tackle. And even though Christiandarrisaw seems like a prototypical left tackle, his arm length isn't in the highest percentile, and is neither his hands. But size-wise, he's very adequate. Athletic-wise is where he set himself apart. Now, so I always like to talk about his strengths and weaknesses that were being looked at pre-draft, and and I have never really looked at these, and if I did, I can't remember. So let's go through the strengths and weaknesses a year later. His strengths: split low with optimal center of gravity. I could see that. He does look very stable. We've had players that lunge too much or could get knocked off their axis, and it was very noticeable. We don't much like Bradbury, but not Darrisaw. I don't see that. Natural bender who's able to keep his pad level right. I think so. I think that's good. Silky smooth feet and pass slides. Yeah, I think so. I do think so. Now, strong hands help him lock in after punch has landed. I mean, he doesn't have the biggest hands, but apparently he's got strong ones. Ability to quick set wide rushers and short circuit their angles. That's what he was known for in college. I can agree with that. Body control, balance generally solid throughout the rep. Lower body bend to doorstop a bull rush. He's got leverage. I think he's got leverage. I don't think anybody really bull rushes Christiandarrisaw. Has talent and athleticism to make all the blocks and the angles. Yes, and I'm going to supply a video down below about this, and I'll talk about it more. Lateral quickness off the snap is fantastic. I agree. Enticing combination of feet, hips, and hand strength. So it says. Still the hand strength. Not sure, but he seems to, in the videos I've seen, he seems like he's able to grasp, with one hand and fend off a defender. I think it's pretty good. Tunnel maker with the ability to reach, turn, and secure cutback lanes. He can reach block. He's got plenty of lateral quickness. Very effective cut blocker. Keeps eyes trained on second level targets through his secure blocks. I agree with that. You'll see video of that if you go down in my description. I'm gonna have a video on a scouting report. Agility to stalk and connect against moving targets. I think he's seek and destroy. I do. I think he's good at that. Eliminated most penalties over the last 2 seasons. I don't think he's a big penalty guy. I think that's a solid observation. His weaknesses. Play can be much too nonchalant at times. There's early evidence of that, and I was a little struggling to believe that we got the right guy at the beginning. He kind of stumbled on his way to becoming a very good left tackle by the end of the season. Inexplicably lets opponents off the hook early rather than finishing them. You will see this if you go down and look in the description. I have a video. You'll see it. 2, relying upon athleticism over technique. Low hands lead to occasional late punches. Opens outside hip a little early in the pass slides. This may show up. I didn't see it in the scouting video I saw. Allows defenders into the frame more than he should. I think he's better than that. I don't think that's a huge problem. Needs committed power to step inside to protect B gap. Inconsistent working, a firm, accurate outside hand. We'll see. I don't see a lot of that. Lazy with hand placement on down blocks. Rushes through secure blocks on combos. I don't think any of these are really just glaring red flags. I don't see any of these as being glaring red flags. And I think everything that he has a problem with is very coachable. You can't coach athleticism, and this man has that in spades as a left tackle. So I think we made a very good decision. Now, if you go down and look at, now after I'm done, you can go down and look at the description of where I'm getting my information from. And I feel like this is a pretty reliable source. His name is, let me get that for you. He goes by the Football Scout. It's in the description. He does a 10-minute video on Christiandarrisaw and what he thinks of him after his rookie year. And I think he does a really awesome breakdown. And one of the things he brought up is his mental in-game processing. He struggled with that earlier. That's like if in the outside, if someone does a stunt and he blocks the inside guy and lets the guy run right around him and he doesn't anticipate it. Now you'll see in the video that he did that early in the year, and then you show an example of how well he did it later in the year, and he goes really good and does a really good job doing that. Now also he struggled early with getting a jump out of his stance to take on the outside rusher early, and he also had problems with reach blocks early, but he developed that later and was able to improve and show that he had the athletic ability to cut off inside blockers if we're going to the right or up the middle. He was able to cut off a D tackle from the left tackle position, and he showed that later in the video, and it worked out well. And that's what he was known for in college. So athleticism is a big deal with Christiandarrisaw. You'll see that he doesn't finish people, and I think that's probably most people can agree with that. But he does get in front of them, and he does block well, and I think he moves people, especially linebackers. Now you'll see early in if you go watch the video, you'll see there is a there's a screenplay to Dalvin Cook, and he doesn't maintain his block, and there's only one guy to block, and we have four guys out in front of Dalvin Cook, and it looks like it could be like a 70-yard touchdown if he just maintains his block. Now, those are the things that are going to frustrate you, and I think as he develops, he's going to have that. He's going to have that maturity. He's going to have that concentration to where he finds every block important. He finishes the block, and if we can get our offensive line coach to develop that into him, he may already have it. He may have developed it throughout the first year in 2020. You don't often just think, "Hey, how's the left tackle doing?" and watch that in game. So you don't really remember that. It's good to go back and watch videos like this, having someone break down the progression of a player. And I think Christiandarrisaw made a good jump in year one. I think the consistency will be there, and you'll see a dominant left tackle in the NFL with Christiandarrisaw, because he's gonna show his ability to cut off that outside blocker. He's not susceptible to or outside rusher. He's not susceptible to the bull rush. He can reach block with the best of them. He uses angles and his agility to get there, so he can redirect the linemen on stretch plays. You'll see this in his game, and he's got leverage. He's got decently long arms. You can see he's able to, in the scout that I'm talking about. What's he go by? He goes by the football scout. He talks about how it looks like he's really did film study on the edge rusher, where he was able to not go for the guy's fake and was able to keep him away from Kirk Cousins. There's a lot of good things about Christiandarrisaw. He's a mountain of a man, strong, agile, all the measurables of a left tackle that you want. Maybe except hand size. I don't know why I keep talking about hand size, but 9.25. I think we got some of our cornerbacks got bigger hands than him. So that's, I think, the only downside in his game. Everything is average or above. But hey, Christiandarrisaw, biggest jump in 2022. This is Dave with Minnesota Sports Talk. You can follow me on Twitter at SkullWorld, at MN Sports Podcast, also on Facebook, SkullWorld. Be a subscriber, click like, and leave a comment to enter my contest. Have a great one. I'll see you next time.